That's it. Good. That one's for you. That's very good. Hold it back. 2 hands, hold it up. Don't hold it on the last side. That's it, good. Right, now remember everybody, this is a race to see who can finish the milk first, okay? So who is going to win our race? Who's going to win this afternoon? So let's all go the other way at the back so the milk comes down. That's it. I think this one here is going to be our winner. There we go, there's our winner. Okay, well done, very good. You get one as well. Yep. Just walk away. Murphy's on that one. Alright, who's next here? I think this one here maybe. It's all done anyway. We're finished. So this one. So these 2 lambs here, they're our youngest lambs. They're only about 3 weeks old, those 2. Almost finished. You're doing a good job. Right, there we go, well done. Good job, guys. Sit about that to have a go at cracking the whip. And then towards the end of the show, we'll have the chance to milk the cow by hand, of course. And a bit later on, I'm going to show you how we shear a sheep. But before I can do that, we have to move some sheep into the shed. When we move sheep, it's called mustering. And to do the mustering, we use special dogs. And the dogs that we use are Australian Kelpies, specially bred for work with sheep. This is one of our dogs, this is Arthur. Now the Australian Kelpies like Arthur, they've been bred to work sheep for nearly 200 years and now bred into the dogs. It's instinctive in them to work sheep. Now Arthur has just turned 6 years old, so if he was a person, he'd be about 42 or 43 years old, so Arthur's still quite young. Right, so I'm going to take him out now. I'm going to show you how the mustering works. After I've done that, I'm going to get him to bring the sheep right back into the shed, into this pen right here. Right, let's go, Arthur. Good boy. Alright, so you can see the sheep start to move away there. So that's how we move the sheep around. Go back, go back, go back. Stay. Good, go back. Go back. Command back sends him out to the right side. So you can see how the mustering works. We can move the sheep around. So we'll get Arthur to bring the sheep into the shed. Here they come. Push them up. Set them in there, come in here. There we go, good boy Arthur. Yes, Arthur, you are the boss, sit. Now, a very important thing we do with the dogs, once they've removed the sheep first, we like to reward them for doing that, and we do that just by giving them a pat, lets them know that we're pleased with them. So just say, good, mate, good job, and off you go. When we do this, it signs them off. That lets them know their work's finished, so off he goes. Good work. Now, these sheep were just brought in here today are girls. They're female sheep. Female sheep are called ewes, but we also have some boys here. So we're going to introduce the boys. Here they come. So this is the old boy. His name is Pete, and this is Trev. He's the young one. Boys are called rams, and the reason that we have the rams is so that they can breed with the ewes and, of course, make more sheep. Stockman's out mustering the sheep on the horse, he likes to have some morning and afternoon tea, just as we all do when we're working all day. The traditional tea that the Stockman has is called billy tea, and that's because we brew the tea in the billy. This is the billy, so it doesn't matter what type of tea we put in here, it's always billy tea. So when the Stockman wants a cup of tea, he'll get off his horse, he'll make a fire on the ground, he'll put the billy full of water, shear it over here, and whenever we move the sheep, we use our dogs. And as I said, this is Albert. Albert's just 2.5 years old, so if he was a person about 18 or 19, he's just a teenager. He's the nephew of Arthur. Arthur was the dog we saw in the beginning. We have 2 more dogs over there. We have Rusty. Rusty is 10 years old. He's Arthur's father. And we have a puppy over there as well. He's only 6 months old. His name's Henry. Henry's the same colour as Albert here. Right, so Albert's going to move the sheep. Come on, Albert. Albert likes to bark at the sheep. Ready, boys? Ready? Round, round, round. Push him up. Push him up. Good boy. Good boy, Albert. In there, go. Right, so once again you can see the sheep always move away from the dogs, and that makes it a lot easier because the dogs do all the work for us. And then we reward them once again just by giving them a pat. Lets them know that we're pleased with them. Albert, sit. Good boy. Give him a pat. Good boy, mate. Good job. Over you go. Good boy. Once again, that's sign for us. Right, now this is the equipment that we use to shear the sheep, and it's called the shearing plant, or the handpiece. The handpiece has 2 blades on it, a fixed blade on the bottom called a comb. This combs through the wool. And a small blade on the top that cuts the wool off, that's called the cutter, and the cutter moves. As you can see, it's very fast, very noisy, very sharp, and it's also very dangerous. Now this shearing plant, this is what is used today. This is the modern way of shearing sheep, and being the modern way, it's also the easy way, but it wasn't always that easy. A long time ago, all of the sheep in Australia had to be shorn by hand. This is the tool that was used. These are called shears. It was about 100 years ago that these were used, and at that time in Australia there were about 70 million sheep. They all had to be shorn every year using the shears. Now the shearers had worked for 10 hours a day, and in a day they could shear about 70 or 80 sheep using the shears. Today they can shear twice that many sheep. One shearer can shear 150 to 200 sheep in one day. So it is much easier today. Now something else that makes it easier for the shearer is this piece of equipment, and this was invented by a shearer who had a bad back. He couldn't shear sheep anymore because of his back. How do you think he got the bad back? Of course, bending over, shearing sheep down this position all day. So what do you think we do with this? Do we put the sheep in here, do you think? Make it easy to shear. It's for the shearer, not the sheep. Shearer gets in, down in the shearing position you can see the springs working, supporting quite a lot of my weight and taking a lot of strain off my back. Now I'm going to get one of these sheep out now and show you how we shear it, and I'll hand you over to Madison. She'll explain to you what's going on during the shearing. Just before I do that, guys, if you'd like to come around over this side, you can stand behind those people if you like. Come on through.
The shearer starts shearing by removing the belly wool. When the belly wool is removed, it is kept separate from the rest of the wool. This is because it needs different processing. When the sheep lies down on the ground, it picks up a lot of rubbish, mainly vegetable matter, grass seeds, bird and prickles, which are very hard to remove from the wool. In a commercial shearing shed, there will be more than one shearer, usually 4 or 5 working together. We call them a team shearer. They will start work at 7:30 in the morning, work for 2 hours, have a break and a cup of tea, work for another 2 hours, and so on for an 8-hour day. Up onto the head now. When the shearer shears around the sheep's head, he must be very careful of the eyes and the ears. The neck is the most difficult part of the sheep to shear. As you see, the handpiece goes underneath the wool and the shearer will have to feel for the spears where he can open out the wool and see where he is going. In Australia, we shear mainly merino sheep. Merinos are the breed of sheep. They are very wrinkly and have a lot of loose skin all over their bodies, but especially around the neck. You must think the shearing is the same as having your hair cut. When you have your hair cut, it doesn't hurt. You look neat and tidy for a while, but before long, you need it cut again. This is the same for the sheep, except we only shear them once a year. This next part of the shearing is called the long blow. A blow being the stroke of a handpiece. This is the longest blow a shearer can do on a sheep, going from one end to the other so they can get a lot of wool off very quickly when doing the long blow. A typical sheep farm in Australia will have around 5,000 sheep. Shearers are working teams, and these teams will travel from one sheep farm to another. Once they're at that farm, they will stay there until all the sheep have been shorn, then they'll move on to the next one. This last side of the shearing is called the whipping side. It's called this as it is the fastest side to shear. Having already shorn off most of the wool, all the shearer has to do now is quickly whip down this far side so he can finish off this sheep, get out another one, and shear as many as he can in a day. A shearer will be paid about $3.20 for every sheep he shears. That might not sound like much, but knowing he can shear 150 to 200 sheep in a day, he's earning quite a bit of money. And now we have a lovely clean shorn sheep. Well done, Darren. Let's give him a clap.
Now, in the wool of sheep, there is a natural grease, which is called lanolin. You've probably heard of it. A lot of skincare products and ladies' cosmetics are made from lanolin. It's very good for your skin. And it's also very good for the sheep itself. Immediately after we shear the sheep, it produces a large amount of lanolin that covers its own body in grease. This protects the sheep from the weather, keeps it warm and dry. So we can put the sheep outside immediately after shearing at any time of the year, even in the winter time, and they don't suffer at all. When I rub the body of the sheep on the freshly cut wool, you'll be able to see the lanolin shining on my hands. It's very greasy. I can certainly feel it. It's very good for your skin. So after the show, when the sheep is back in the catching pen, you might like to go over there, rub the sheep. Just like I did, rub it a long time, rub it all over your face, and you'll have lovely soft skin. You'll smell terrible. You'll smell really bad, but your skin will be very good. Right, and this part of what we have here is called a fleece, and there are workers in the shearing shed, and they're called rouseabouts. One of them will pick up the fleece of wool, and throw it out onto a wool table. I'm going to demonstrate this for you by throwing the fleece onto the floor, just so you can see better. You might like to just imagine that we have...
ഓസ്ട്രേലിയയിലെ പ്രത്യേകതകൾ അടങ്ങിയ വീഡിയോകൾ ലഭിക്കുന്നതിന് ചാനൽ സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക, ലൈക്ക് ചെയ്യുക, ഷെയർ ചെയ്യുക.